to myself, what a wonderful.
Hey guys, and welcome to
DJ Talk.
So we have a person. I'm sorry, I'm just still recovering. We have another
Special guest
that we had before. I'm sure you guys will know if you hear her voice.
Buongiorno! Hey guys, it's Jessica, the other one.
From Florida.
What?
Yay!
I'm back.
We said you'd be back at some point.
And here I be.
Always a pleasure to have her here.
Yes.
So we had an amazing 4th of July weekend. Happy 4th to all.
Happy 4th.
Happy
I feel
4th,
like we record
guys.
a lot on holidays lately.
Yeah, right?
Mother's
Like
Day,
it always
Father's
ends
Day,
up being on a holiday.
a holiday,
Memorial Day.
Day.
That was the last one, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get Memorial Day and Labor Day mixed up every year.
Yeah,
See, now I don't. Because I think of Labor Day, I think when she went into labor with Kenzie.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's how I think about it now.
Okay, now I'll never forget it.
There you go. See.
Thank
there
you.
we go.
Arigato.
Oh man.
Speaking about languages, we were talking earlier about your Spanish being so much better.
Yeah,
Well,
and
because we had a family reunion in Spanish family, so
it
hearing
was
you talk in
pretty
Spanish,
crazy.
yeah.
Which is why we sound beat up, by the way.
Oh yeah, we had a pretty.
It's not even that we're hungover. It's just we played so many games that
Yeah.
they literally tried to kill us.
Oh man.
Pretty much.
And we had 13 games. We only did 5 or 6 of them.
And I'm
that's
surprised.
how preed up we are.
I'm surprised I still have a voice from yelling in the microphone. Purple team, green team, and go!
Yeah, but it was a good time.
Yeah, we had every aunt and uncle were their own colors.
Yeah.
So my mom is one of 11, which can give you an estimate of about how many people there were, because each aunt and uncle has at least 3 children.
Right.
At least, yeah.
And then some of their children have children. So we have a lot of cousins.
It's
it
like
was
us.
ending up 79 people, I think your mom said.
Yeah.
Because one family didn't end up coming because
the
they were
kids
sick.
were sick or
yeah.
something.
I'm surprised the cops weren't called, honestly.
I'm surprised either, especially with the fireworks.
Yeah.
That was
Oh, we
that
had
was crazy.
fireworks. That was
Yeah, but your
awesome.
cousin was like, "Oh, it's just a little sparkle. It's nothing," and it's like, boom, boom.
No, it
My baby's
literally
freaking
set
out.
off a fire.
Literally.
Yeah, we started a fire, and then we had
But he
neighbors
was
come
so
over.
nonchalant. He's like, I got it, guys.
Yeah,
You see
he
him
was
with a bucket. Like, I got it.
He's like walking nonchalant, like getting some water, and like, all right, I'm coming back. But that was a fun time, though.
Well, your
Yes.
mom's one of 11. My mom's one of 13.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I calculated one time the best way I could. We have 48 just first cousins who got married, who had kids, who are now married, who have kids. So
Yeah.
we're like I don't know, definitely
Too
over
big.
200 people
Yeah.
in our family.
That's so cool.
When I went to a long time ago, it was 5 years ago or something like that. When I went to Paraguay with my mom for my grandma's 90th birthday party, we had almost everybody at a place.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know half of them. I was like, I don't know who you are, and the only person I knew was who I was living with, with my cousin. So I was just sticking to him the whole time because I didn't know anybody else.
I almost felt like that with this family reunion. Thank God my mom made name tags.
Yeah, right.
But
But,
even still, I didn't know.
Half the
saying
name
it's
tags
like-
were on the floor. I saw.
Yeah.
I saw Amy and I saw Jennifer.
Like, who do
whatever.
you belong to?
Yeah, right.
Who do you come from?
And then when they took their color shirts off, I'm like,
Oh, that made
what
it
color
so
are you
much
from?
harder.
Yeah.
Especially with the games. I was like, wait, what color are you? They're like green. I'm like, oh, yeah, but you're wearing orange, so I don't know if you're part of the orange team now. So it's just like, I don't know what's going on.
Your uncle was wearing a neon green t-shirt,
Mhm.
and I'm like, what color are you? And he's like, green. I'm like, no, that looks yellow. And he's
It's
like,
totally yellow.
and he's like, that's discrimination.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what? It does look like yellow. What do you want me to do?
Whatever, you highlighter.
Yeah. Oh gosh! And then, what did your cousin say to your his sister when they were doing that stick game to stack up
okay.
the bottle caps?
So one of the games that we played yesterday, you have to put like a popsicle stick in your mouth, but hold it flat, and then you tower on top on the popsicle stick. The bottle caps, like beer bottle caps.
Yeah.
And you have to try to make it as high as possible without making it fall. It's actually a lot harder than it sounds.
Yeah.
But my two cousins, one of them, the girl, she had it in the mouth, and her brother was whispering in her ear, "Hey, just pretend that it's like this beautiful, juicy piece of yucca, and you just can't let it go, and it's so delicious. Oh my gosh, you just have to stack those bottle caps right on top of there."
Oh my god.
He's funny though.
It was so great.
Talk about motivation right there.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And she actually did win.
Hey, there you go.
That's the
See,
best
it worked. It worked.
For
Oh,
all those
man.
who doesn't know, yuca is a piece of it's like
It's
a
like a-
potato, Spanish potato in a way.
Yeah.
It's really good. Try it.
You can fry it.
Fry it, boil it. You boil it first and then you pan fry it because you have to cook it. But it's good. It's really good. Yeah. But those games were so much fun though. I'm so sore like from like head to toe.
Yeah.
Like my ankle hurts, but it was worth it. It was definitely worth all that.
Yeah.
It was definitely a lot of fun.
We're not live right now because I'm actually laying down.
We all been beaten up.
I'm on like my second cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It's like the espresso one and it's still not kicking in.
I don't think it will
I don't think
until
so.
you
At
go to
this
sleep
point-
tonight.
I don't think so at this point. And to think that I have to go home later and like just do laundry and clean up a bit, I'm like not in the mood. But you also have to fly home today.
Yeah, I leave today. So that should be an experience being at the airport.
Yeah. So hopefully your flight doesn't get canceled
Oh my
or anything
God.
like that.
I know.
Or
Because-
delayed or anything.
Well, checking in, they were like, "Hey, so it's gonna be crazy. Do you want to leave tomorrow morning?"
That's true. Everybody's trying to get home.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Which sucks because I can't, as I work from home.
Yeah.
So I would basically have to call out because I would land during my shift.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, going late or something. But
You don't want to risk that either. Like,
Yeah.
what's the guarantee? Like, yeah, you leave tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
But
and then-
tomorrow there's a delay or cancellation again.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't trust that.
I mean, there's a lot of, like, Newark, they said it's number one of being the most canceled flights in less than a month.
Newark Airport's awful.
Yeah.
It's like,
It is so difficult. Fort Myers Airport is like a dream.
I know. I remember Fort Myers Airport.
I've
It's
never, I
so
wanna
like
go.
Oh my
Ah.
gosh. It's so nice. Everything is
Yeah.
so clean.
Mhm.
You literally don't have to show up until like 30 minutes prior to
Really?
boarding
no
because you're just like skipping through TSA. Like they're like, "Hey, good morning."
Go right ahead.
It's like you could feel like it's so positive in there.
It's
Like the
so
environment?
positive.
Yeah, the environment, and like in Newark, it's like you feel the tension of everybody.
Everybody's like
It's so
rushing, everybody's
weird.
trying to get everywhere.
Everyone's so cranky. Like, God
Yeah.
forbid you have to like ask for help. Ugh,
Didn't
Oh,
you
that
have
was
a bad
me in
experience
Miami.
with Pika?
it was so bad.
Brett was telling me.
So I have a service animal. Her name is Pika, and
She's adorable.
yeah, she is really cute. She's a Chihuahua Corgi mix, which one I rescued, and she's now a psychiatric service animal. She's official, and we learned in the Fort Myers airport that you need to have a supervisor approve the service animal because they need to make sure that the rabies vaccine is valid and up to date.
Yeah.
And they also need to make sure that around other people that they're not vicious or like crazy, so they're just checking their temperament.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
a problem.
You don't want them biting somebody on the plane.
Yeah, and now we know the process. It's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
In Newark, it's a very big deal, apparently, because when we went, we tried to look for the manager, like the help desk, right, when you go in, but we only saw the baggage claim.
Okay.
So we kept asking people, where do we go to have my service animal evaluated? And they kept sent us downstairs all the way to the end of the airport.
Oh, no.
Like in baggage claim,
Yeah.
all the way down. They're like, go by number 8. So we go by number 8.
And mind you, guys, Newark Airport is big.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So we're walking, sweating, and there's people everywhere. And Pika's like exhausted now because
She's like, well, what are we doing?
we're doing laps basically. We get down to where they send us, and it's to check in animals. So we're like, oh, perfect. We see paw prints. Like, this is where we got to go. So then the people are like, no, you have to go upstairs. This is not where you go. This is for regular pets, not service animals.
What?
Yeah. So we're like, okay, well, this is where everyone is sending us. And he's like, well, who's everyone? I'm like, your United coworkers.
Yeah.
And
Who else?
Yeah.
Right?
And he's like, well, you have to go upstairs. We're like, fine. We go upstairs. We see someone else. Excuse me, where do we go to have my service animal evaluated?
Downstairs.
Back downstairs.
No.
I hate that.
We go downstairs. They're sending us down here. Who is?
Oh my god.
Your
else would be?
fellow employees,
Yeah.
bro. And they're like, well, you have to go upstairs. Well, where? Tell us where, because every time we ask upstairs,
They tell
they're
us to
sending
go
us
down.
to you.
Downstairs, yeah.
And the guy is like, well, I don't understand why you're here. I'm like,
Yo.
I'm literally telling you why we're here.
I would get a manager at that point.
The guy wouldn't let us. He was like, well, you know what? I'm just tired of looking at you guys now, so I'm going to do a little thing called customer service. And we're like,
He could have done that in the beginning without that attitude.
excuse me?
Like, excuse me?
Literally, all we were asking was where to go. We weren't even mad at him for
Yeah.
not
Right.
checking us in. We understand it's for regular pets.
But just tell me
point
where to
us
go.
where.
We still to this day don't know where to go.
Oh my god.
Because he still never told us.
So do you have to do this every time you go?
Yeah.
Back and forth thing?
So what do you do tonight then?
I don't know.
Like,
Oh my, yeah, get there early.
We had
Yeah,
to get
for
there
real.
early, but my dad called someone who works at the airport and was like, okay, this is where you're going to have to go. Like, it's sad that I had to call my dad to go call a favor to find out, because
Yeah.
still to this day, that's all we wanted to know. Where, if it's not you, then where?
then who? Just
Oh
tell
my
me
God.
where.
Point us where it is. Shoot, you want to do a little thing called quote unquote customer
Customer
service?
service?
Can you walk around and show us where? Because there was nobody there. There was no one at his
Oh
desk. There
my
were like three
gosh.
people standing there, and they
Uh-huh.
refused to help.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I'd
I
be
don't
pissed.
understand why people are like that. Like, if you're having a bad day, okay, like, but don't take it out on customers.
Exactly.
Like, you guys had nothing to do with his being, like, whatever happening in his life.
Yeah, that's how it is. Oh my god.
That happened to me in Hurricane Harbor. Like, I was, because we had the formula plan from the season pass.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, let's use two of them or one, what to eat lunch. And so we went to one of the restaurants that were like very close to where we were staying at. And they're like, okay, well, for some reason it's not showing up on your season pass, so you have to go to general relations to figure out why. So I walk from where we were at all the way to the front of the entrance to where guest relations are, and it's like a good maybe half-mile walk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I go there, and then they're like, oh, it's not popping up for some reason, but I printed out a thing for you to show,
vouchers?
like a voucher type of thing, to show that you have it. So just tell them this should work. So I go back to that restaurant. They're like, it's not working. You have to go to Paradise, which is like I guess like the center of food court, whatever, to go there, and they can activate it for you.
Oh my god.
I go there, and they're like, well, it's not working. You have to go back to guest relations. I don't know why they keep sending you guys here to activate it. They have to do it. I'm like, oh my god. So I go back to general relations, and I'm like, listen, they're sending me here. It's not working. They're like, okay. So they look into it. They come back, and they're like, all right, well, since at the time that you purchased the season pass, you have to activate it through the theme park at like any food court there. But I'll give you $5 vouchers to pay for your meal
$5?
today. No, it was like $20 one, but like they're little $4 or
okay.
$5 vouchers. So I'm like, okay. So I go back to the place where we're staying at, and they're like, it's not working. You have to go back to guest relations. I'm like, I'm done. Like, this is,
No.
you guys keep sending me back and forth. It's a long walk. I'm hungry. It's already been an hour, and I took that vouchers away from her hand. I'm like, I'm done.
And you have babies. Like,
Yeah. Well, so your mom unfortunately had to pay for Mackenzie because the fact that, like she was hungry. And this took an hour for me to do everything.
wow.
So I was hungry. I was cranky. It was hot. So whatever. So I go back to the like the major food court just to try one more time, and they were having trouble too. But the supervisor came and was like, you know what? I'll deal with this later. Here's your, like, he gave us a $5 voucher back because it was only like $15, whatever. He was like, just take the food you could eat. I'm like, thank you.
Finally.
I'm like, what the, like, that's all I needed. And then I'm like, plus, it's a free meal.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you just give it to me? Like, you can clearly see I paid for the $4 meal, or 4-meal plan. Just give it to me if it's, you know, having such a hard time. What's $15? You guys make freaking how much in a day?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, it doesn't
It's like
matter.
nothing.
Yeah. So I was
feel
just so mad.
Certain people should not be in customer service.
I
I'm sorry.
absolutely agree with that.
I'm sorry. Like, my coworker, we're at a point where, like, he should just freaking not be there anymore. Because, like...
I feel like managers should be, like, more strict and, like, pay attention to their, you know, workers to see how they actually are. And if something is going weird or wrong like that, they should be, like, removed or to be talked or whatever. Because it's ridiculous.
I mean, we all have bad days. I have bad days at work where I really don't want to deal with anybody. But, like, I'll give everybody a heads up, like, listen, I'm not feeling it today. Like, my anxiety's through the roof. I really don't want to talk.
Yeah.
So they'll put me somewhere else. But, like, I'll express it. Like, if you see me that I'm just not productive, it's because I'm not in the mood today.
Yeah.
But I'll say it. But I'm not going to take it out on a customer. Like, if a customer walks in and they're being, like, annoying as hell, I try my best to just keep my cool and, like, deal with it. But there's some people that just don't... They just don't know how to do their job.
Yeah. Well, that just means you have a knack for customer service and you can understand not only yourself, but the other people's shoes. So
Yeah.
that's so important. If you can't put yourself in the customer mindset, you don't belong in customer service at all. You don't.
No.
Well, in Miami, they tortured me while on the way back. I hate Miami Airport.
It's
so bad.
It's
I've heard
Miami, really?
I've heard of it, but being there on the way there, it wasn't that bad. It was on the way back. I was trying to check in, and well, I did check in, but I went to go like scan because we had to check in bags or whatever. And the lady's like, oh, well, you need to go, like, on the other side of the airport. United's on that side for Jersey. And I was like, okay, so we walk all the way over there. The guy's like, oh, no, it's actually down that way. And I was like, no, but they sent me here. And he goes, no, but it's over there. So I go back all the way over there. And I'm like, me and my two friends are, like, you know, with luggage and everything. I go over there. I was like, I just really just want to get my ticket and just get on the plane. Like, I'm done. And she's like, no, but it's on the other side. I'm like, I just went over there.
By the way, Miami is like 4 times the size of Newark Airport.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Really?
Yeah, it's huge. So we walk on the other side, and there was another guy, looked like he was like a supervisor or something. He was really nice, thankfully. I said, listen, they're sending me back and forth. I don't want to miss my flight. I already checked in. I just need, like, the ticket. And he goes, where are you going to? I'm like, I'm going to Jersey. I'm going to Newark. I'm like, my flight leaves, like, in an hour and a half. And so he took me to the desk. He's like, here, go here. This is where you have to go. He took me. But I'm like, oh, my gosh. But the whole going back and forth thing, I feel like
it's annoying.
Is it like that people just don't want to help? Or is it that people, they really don't know where to go and they just send you to send you off? You know what I mean?
It could be both.
Yeah.
It could be a little bit of both, honestly. But if that's the case, then say so. Like, there's no harm in saying, you know what? I'm not sure, but I think it's over there.
Yeah.
Because then if someone was actually transparent enough to say that, would you have been mad? Like,
right.
Oh, well, you know what? She wasn't sure. This isn't right.
Yeah.
Right.
At least she tried.
Right.
Or
And
like,
she's like,
that.
no, you're in the wrong place, go there. And then you go to the wrong place. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I even do that at work. Like, when people were asking for credit, they're like, oh, and I'm, like, not too sure. I'll be like, listen, let me just make sure. Because I don't want to give you, like, the wrong information. So I'll go get a manager and be like, hey, help me out with this really quick. But I'm not going to just be like, oh, just to get him out the way. I'm like, no, like, I want to make sure.
Yeah. You don't want to set, like, false expectations.
Right, because if I tell them they have $100 in credit, but in reality they don't have credit at all,
yeah,
they're going to be like, well, she told me I had credit.
Exactly.
And then we lose out money on that.
Exactly.
So
but
it's
if you say, hey, you know what? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Let me check. And then they don't, then there's no harm, no foul.
Right.
well, like, in some cases, people still don't, like, appreciate that. Because in my job, I will be like, oh, hold on, let me go find out. I find out for them, and they're like, well, they don't like the answer. I'm like, well, this is what the doctor told me to tell you. Like, there's no, like, don't shoot the messenger, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's why I try to help you. This is what the doctor said. You need to come in. And then, like, well, I'm not wasting any more money. And then whatever. And then it hangs up. I'm like, well, then what do you want me to do? Because I clearly can't. And the fact that, like, they get mad at, like, the receptionist or whatever, but it's not technically their fault. It's, like, more, like, it goes back to, like, sometimes the doctors or something like that, you know? Like, because, like, it's the doctors telling you what to do. And you don't like the answer. Yeah, but we get the end of it and not, you know.
Yeah.
But most of the time, like, I'll just leave a message for the doctor and they'll call you back. Like, I'm done. Like.
So I work for a call center, and the supervisors always tell me that we have to use something called LEV.
Mm-hmm.
It's listen, empathize, and validate.
Yeah.
So something that I have come across, a little technique that I've started using, people will call in and just yell. Like,
right off the bat?
Scream. Yeah, they're mad, right? I was supposed to have service. No one showed up. It's been 3 weeks, whatever.
Wow.
So then sometimes they say, you know what, I'm yelling at you, but I know you didn't do it. And I'm like, that's okay. Yell at me. You want to yell some more? I can hold. Just yell.
That makes them appreciate it too. Because
I'm on your side. You want to yell? You want to get it out? Get it out. That's what I'm here for. I'm with you. You want to be pissed? You know what? Now I'm pissed with you.
No, but that helps them because in a way they get shocked by that.
It's kind of like,
and then they take a step back. They're like, oh, okay.
They're not expecting that.
Yeah.
They're expected to be like so professional and be like not really like
like
empathize.
robot.
Yeah, like a robot.
Like go by the script. And that's it.
I'm sorry for that. Let me just see what I can do for you. You know, like that
Sometimes
type
I
of customer
hate that
service.
line.
I hate that.
Oh my god.
Let me see what I can do for you.
Let me place you on a brief hold. Let me see what I can do.
And you hear the elevator music. And you're like pissed off.
So we just realized that, blah 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 blah
You
blah.
are right. So what we're gonna do for you today?
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh my god.
And just so we know, this is on the recorded line.
Yeah. I do have to say that, but I come back sometimes and I'm like, hey, guess what? I have great news. You know, like not to be so. Hey, okay, so
no, that's just like
I'm sorry for very bad news.
I feel like you get more connection to customers when you're yourself, not like so like scripted,
robotic.
Yeah.
I'm totally by the book. Meanwhile, I'm like, boss, I know this is recorded. I'm sorry.
No, but you have to be like yourself and like you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
You're making the customer, happy.
Well, you watch The Office, right?
No.
Oh, The Office
come
again,
on.
Diana. Oh my god.
No, 'cause
you know what?
He gets a second job as like a sales rep,
Okay.
and so he has to go buy the book, but he goes off the book and he starts talking to, and like the manager's standing there like, you have to go buy the book. And he's like, no, but I'm trying to connect with. You have to go buy the book. That's it. That's how you make your sales. And I'm like, not really.
No, that's
all
not
the
true.
time.
That's.
I mean,
they should change that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
People
maybe there's
aren't
like a guy.
appliances.
Like when I worked at the PT office, I did have like a script to go by, but it was just like key points to go.
It's an outline.
Yeah,
not
to
a
go
script.
by. But like when I was working there, I had a patient call in talking about her sciatic. She's like, I went to another chiropractor. I feel like they messed it up more. Like she was mad. She's frustrated, and I get it because I have sciatic pain. It's not a good thing to have. And she was like, I try to go to this person, and I feel like they messed me up more, and I don't feel like I don't trust anybody. She's like, but I need somebody because I'm in so much pain. So I went off the script, and I told her my story. I said, listen, I have sciatic pain. I went to a chiropractor. Like, I can recommend it. And I said, listen, we'll do this for you. If you want to try us out, your consult, your half out would be for free. And if you want to join us, we'll set up. The tone of voice is like switched.
Yeah, because you're like, hey, guess what? I'm a person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I understand why you're mad.
Yeah.
No, and I said
And I
that.
also understand your pain.
Yeah.
Just removes all the
couldn't-
anger.
And she came in, and then she set up for a whole package deal. And doctor was like, how'd you do that? And I was like, because I went through it. So I feel like when you go through the same thing or something similar, they empathize more with you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh shit, you actually get me. You understand me.
Yeah.
So it's like, so that's what helped a lot. But going by the script all the time, sometimes people don't want to hear that.
Remember the other day I was telling you the really cool customer that I had.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
You were so mad though.
I was so proud. I really
She was.
Wait, yeah.
What was it like?
it.
This was like Friday, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was such a proud moment for me because the guy calls in and I hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can tell right away.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
once somebody's like frustrated or pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like in the beginning of the call, I have to verify all of his information, right? So I'm verifying his information, but his town name was really hard to pronounce. So I skipped the town name and I went straight for the zip code. And then I was like, okay, sir, well, I'm going to try to pronounce the town. And you tell me if I did it right.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Ultawa.
Mm-hmm. That sounds so cool, though.
So
Ultawa,
cool,
know,
right? So the guy is like, you did great. And I was like, I did? He's like,
Go
yeah.
Tar.
And I was like, cool. Okay, great. Because it was like, I wanted to try, I really did. And he was like, well, actually, it means owl's nest.
Oh.
In like some sort of Indian tribe. And I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. And he's like, yeah, it is really cool. And I'm like, well, thank you for telling me that.
Yeah.
Because now I know and I'll never forget it.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what, Jessica, you are so kind and so bubbly and so nice that you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my anger all the way down because I was mad. And now I'm just going to talk to you. I'm like, tell me. What's going on? Talk to me.
Yeah, they do the waterworks. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That was nice. You know?
Right? He's like, I'm just like, talk to me. What's going on? And he tells me the problem. And guess what? It was something that I could fix like that.
Yeah.
Immediately. And then at the end of the call, he was like, you know what? I understand. And it was like a price increase. He's like,
Right.
I understand. Things are expensive right now. I understand why prices are going up.
Yeah.
You know, your people have to pay for gas and products and things like that. But there's also the customer service side of it. And you have exemplified exactly that. And I really want to say thank you. And I appreciate you so much. And you have a customer.
Got the tissues.
I know, right? I was like, thank you, sir.
And then, you hear that, boss? You
Well,
said I was nice.
Actually, what I did is I took a little snippet, like I typed a little snippet of the conversation. I sent it in my group chat. And I was like, guys, you know, this is a reminder that using that LEV technique
Yeah.
and talking through a smile really goes a long way.
Oh, yeah.
Because imagine if you're mad and you call in and someone is so bubbly. Like, how can you be mad? How can you still be as angry? Like,
Yeah.
sure, you can
Like,
be...
you try,
Yeah.
but then it's like,
All
Damn
right,
it,
this
I
is that.
can't.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
Like, I
working.
stop. Yeah.
Let me calm it down. This person's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, let's be friends.
Yeah. Let's meet up on Friday.
Right? And he even ended up asking me, where do you live? Like, we started having a conversation, like, being people. And as long as you're a person, like,
yeah.
and you understand, then, oh my gosh.
that's the thing. I think people don't see, like, people when they call in, whether it's like an insurance company or whatever, they don't see them as people. They just see them as, like, I don't know what.
Another call.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a
Like-
lady that I had at my job. She was always like cranky when she came in and like always gave us attitude and stuff like that. But
I
for
have
some
somebody like that
reason,
at
like we started talking a little bit, and then like because she said that she had a stroke. Like maybe a couple years back, and then like she lost her mobility and all that, and then now
Sure.
she's walking and talking again and all
Everything
that.
is hard.
So yeah, everything's hard for her. I'm like, I totally understand because my mom's going through the same thing. Ever since that, like we had that connection, like she hugged me at the end of the conversation. She's like, I hope your mom's gonna get better.
Aw.
She's like, she'll definitely pull through this. I went through this. Your mom's gonna come through, and she's gonna come home. I'm like crying, and then she's like,
Aw.
and ever since then, she would like call for me, ask for me, and I'm like, oh man, like I got that client, but that's okay because she was
But
like,
you have
yeah.
been in with her, so it's
yeah.
okay.
So it's like she would always ask for me and stuff like that, and I'm like.
So now when she's cranky, you could be like, remember the stuff I'm going through with my mom?
No, no,
Yo,
but she
play
was
the mom card.
Be
yo.
nice to me.
yeah, no, but she was always nice to me. She knew who my like her dog's name was Roxy or something like that. But she would always like be nice to me ever since. She'd be like, "How's your mom doing?" and stuff like that. Yeah, she would never be like mean to me anymore. But with other my other coworkers, she would be like nasty too. But like with me, she was just like, how's your mom?
I think it's because like the frustration in a sense. Like we see mom go through it. We feel helpless sometimes, and we feel frustrated because you want to help her, but you can't. But someone that went through it, they know exactly how it feels.
Yeah.
So it's different. But, customer service is not for everybody. Just like any job. Like, I see my mom's nurses, and I can tell, like, everyone takes really good care of her.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's
and they love what they're doing, too.
Yeah, you could tell, like, they're passionate.
That's so important.
Yeah.
Like, the one nurse, I think, the one nurse, my mom had a shirt on one time. I was like, I didn't get her that shirt. So I asked her, I'm like, did you get it? She goes, no. I'm like, well, Dad didn't get it. Nurse came in, she's like, your mom is one of my favorite girls, so I bought her that shirt.
No.
I was like, oh my god. Yeah. She's like, I love your mom. And so, like, you can tell. See, this thing, if you don't feel right for the job, don't do that job. Because you need, especially something like that, in that type of field, like, you need to have that heart for it.
Yeah.
And customer service, if you can't do it, then don't do it. Don't do it.
There are so many jobs where you don't need to.
Right. You don't have to.
Yeah.
It's just like when I was at the PT office. That's
Go
when
look at the post office.
Yeah, right. That's a whole other conversation.
Oh my god! Oh Lord, have mercy. Yeah, like, dude, you don't know what everybody's going through. That's the thing. Like,
well, that's the thing that you have to like figure out how to separate it. Like,
work from work. Home from work or whatever. But
when I was working at the PT office, that's when everything happened with Mom. So I still had to show up to work, and it was the hardest for me to sit there and not cry.
Yeah.
And you had patients walk in, and I'm putting a smile on my face, and inside I think I have like a knot in my throat, not knowing what's going on with my mom, and they didn't know anything. And then one time they all came in, they're like, we didn't know you were going through that, because the doctor had mentioned, because they noticed that I was kind of off. That wasn't like my bubbly self, but. And they were like, oh my god, they're like, we would never notice. Because she's always like greeting us still the same way, smiling. I was like, you have to separate it somehow. It's hard. It's the hardest thing ever, but you have to learn how to separate it.
My job was always like, when I was going through, especially with like the miscarriage and all that, they're so supportive. And that's what you need too, like a support system at your job too, and at home. Just because, like, if you don't have that support system at your job, then it makes it even harder. But they were like, just take a break, go in the back and, like, whatever. Or, like, go in the bathroom, take a few minutes. Like, if I'd be, like, in the room or something. Or I couldn't even go into, like, euthanasias for, like, a little while because, like, it was just too emotional.
Yeah.
So, like, you can cry with the client or the customers and stuff like that. But I'll be crying like 10 times more.
When you're crying harder, they're like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, like this is not even her animal.
Yeah.
Like,
should we give you some space?
It's like, do you need tissues?
Like, I think we should.
They're like consoling you. It's okay. They lived a good life.
It's like, I treated him well. Yeah. Like, we knew this was gonna happen. Like, we were expecting it.
He's in a better place now. It's okay.
And you just see like their one tear falling, right? Because they're like in shock. And like she's like crying her eyes out, and they're just like staring at her like.
I'm like, I don't even know his name.
And they leave like, that was the strangest visit.
And I'll still be crying like.
Yeah. No, the whole thing of being supportive. My bosses are amazing. I can't tell you how many times we're like, remember when Mom went for an appointment and they rushed her to the hospital? She had motion sickness, but they didn't know what it was.
Oh, because she was throwing up.
Because she was throwing up in the ambulance, and so they called me. They said, we're rushing your mom to the hospital, and I'm like, why? No, because she like threw up in the ambulance on the way to her doctor's appointment, and so we just want to make sure. And I was like, where is she? She's like, Red Bank. I went to the office. I said, I gotta go. My mom...
Yeah, but you should have known that, too. That she gets car sick.
But the past few times that she went, she never had an issue. Oh. But I guess that time she did. Mm. And so I think it was like a smaller ambulance.
Baby.
18-year-old,
yeah. Race tracking over there.
No, but I noticed
stole the ambulance.
Imagine you say play Mario Kart, like zooming through everybody.
It's actually a 12-year-old driving.
Yeah. Right? So I hang up the phone, and I'm for a second I'm like, should I go? Should I not? It's probably just motion sickness. No, but what if there's something seriously wrong? Like my mind just went like 1,000 miles. And my coworker was like
the car.
Yeah, pretty much. My coworker's like, if you feel like if you feel like you have to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, forget it. I grabbed my keys to go to the office, and he was like in a meeting. I'm like, I'm sorry, I know you're in a meeting. I gotta go. He's like, what happened? My mom's being rushed to the hospital. I don't know what's going on. I hope it's nothing bad. He's like, go, leave, bye. He's like, don't even clock out, just go. I got there in like 15 minutes.
That's
I jetted down him. And I go into my mom's smiling. I'm like,
oh, boss, I'm coming back.
I was like, what the hell happened? So then
my mom's being dramatic.
So then
she's just testing us.
Yeah. So the doctor came in. I was like, is she okay? Like, and she goes, no. What we found out, she just had really bad. I guess the ambulance was a lot smaller, so she gets claustrophobic easy.
Oh, okay.
So she was just throwing up.
12-year-old?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I stayed there until they came and picked her up, made sure she was okay, and I was like, Mom, you okay? Like, you're good? She goes, yeah. I was like, okay, good. So I called my boss. I was like, she's a bad case of motion sickness.
False warning.
Yeah. But they're really good with that, and they always told me, like, even the day that she texted me and she had the miscarriage, I was already having like a really bad morning, and I don't know what was going on, but I was really upset about something. And then she texted me as soon as I clocked in, and I said, this is not happening. And it was around the time that, like, everything was going on with my mom.
And then
my dad went to rehab. And I was like, why does it feel like
everything's going downhill?
Everything's happening at one time. Mm-hmm. And I remember I took the phone and I put it flat down and I put my head down and I started bawling. Mm-hmm. My coworker, Ivan, was like, the first thing he thought was, it's your mom. I said, no, it's my sister. He was, what happened?
You're gonna make me cry.
Oh, no.
And I told him, I was like, you know.
Just think of the dog.
Sparky the dog.
Oh, so cute.
You want me to go get Pika?
I think so. I need some support right now.
She's official. She's psychiatric.
I need your dog. I'm taking her. Sorry, Noonie.
And I just basically said, like, you know, you can't find a heartbeat. So I just was bawling. So I go to the office and I said, he's like, do you want to leave? He's like, you can leave if you want to go. And I said, do you want me to come home? And
he's basically like, get out.
Yeah. So then she goes, no, Chris is coming home. Mm-hmm. I said, all right, let me know if anything. I'm out the door. And she goes, no. So then I was like, no, I'm staying. He goes, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm staying. If I go home, I'm gonna be like depressed. So I need something to distract myself.
That's
but
probably
that day,
the best thing you could have done.
But that day, I was counting money with the customer, and I couldn't give the right change. But I'm like staring at the screen, and I'm crying. And Ivan's like, all right, go take a minute.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole day, he's like, go take a minute. And I was just like, why does it feel? I'm like, it's not only because of what happened. I'm like, I feel like everything's happening at once.
Yeah.
I'm like, what could be next? Because it just felt like, we know when they say when it rains it pours. That's what it felt like. It was like one thing after another, and I'm like, dude. And I was just like, I want to just throw my hands up and be like, I'm done. Whatever is going on needs to stop. Because I'm like, we can't take, as a family, like, we couldn't take anymore. And then it just slowly started coming back up again, and I was like, okay.
And that was weird, because that day, Chris was still he was still home. I think he was almost about to leave.
Oh.
And then I was like, I think you need to stay home. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't even say, I had to text it to him. Well, actually, I called him. Of course, crying, whatever. And then I made the nurse checked. she was like, okay, well, she was looking, and then she was like, oh, I need you to pee. And then, but I knew something was off because when I came back, she wasn't there. And I was waiting. I was like, oh, something's weird is happening. And then the doctor came. And I made the doctor look again. I'm like, there's no way. And then, yeah. And I was like calling Chris. I was like, and then they're like asking me like, okay, well, what do you want to do? There's 3 options. They're like, you want to wait it out to see if it goes out by itself. Or you could take a pill, but that's like 50-50 chance it would work. And then like, and that's like excruciating pain.
Yeah.
And then, or do the surgery. I'm like, let's just do the surgery because I don't
I feel
like.
that'd
At
be the
first, I was
safest.
scared because I didn't know what to do. I was like, Chris, I called Chris. I'm like, I don't know what to do. He was like, you know what, just do the surgery so you can get like done and over with. Like you don't have to wait it out. You know,
I feel like
and
that's the safest way too.
yeah, and like it's with the way I thought about it too. Because if something's like dead inside, it can cause infection, and
Yeah.
like I didn't want to risk that either. So I was like, you know what, let's just do the surgery. And then
Mhm.
like a couple days later, I got the surgery. But like, no, I don't know.
Couple days.
Yeah, it was like a
Nuts.
Because the crazy
Thursday.
thing is, like, we didn't know, but the baby was like dead for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
It happened.
And it was
happened
weird.
the weekend that we dropped off my dad.
it was weird because like
We didn't know.
maybe
That's
either
what I think.
stress or something, but like it was weird because that night I had a cramp, but I thought it was normal cramping because you know your uterus is like growing or whatever.
No, I don't know.
It's like when you're period, you know, like a period, like it cramps because it's like kind of
Your
like
uterus
inflated.
is, like, contracting
Yeah,
and
whatever.
Oh.
So I thought it was normal for me because I had Mackenzie, and you know that was I thought it was just happening yet, like it's just growing, whatever. And then like yeah, it was 9 weeks, but it was for my 11-week ultrasound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's how they measured it to be
But
like
I
9 weeks.
asked her, I was like, you didn't spot or
I didn't
like,
bleed nothing.
or nothing.
No.
Because sometimes like
No.
that's what happens.
Honestly, though, be grateful that that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have went into shock if
Me
that were
too.
me, and you just wake up and you're like, I think I peed myself. That's not pee.
Oh my god, I would be freaking
What
out.
do you do?
That happened to me with Ariana. I was bleeding.
Really?
You know, around Kayla's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So that day, you know, so everything's fine, whatever. And I'm eating, and then I felt like a little rush and like a little cramping. I was like, what the fuck? So I go to the bathroom, and there's blood. And it bled through my underwear into my dress a little bit. So I was like, okay, this is happening again. And then so I go to Chris, I'm like, I'm bleeding. Like, we need to leave. And then your mom thought I was joking. And then, like, she was like, no, like, I'm like, for real, I'm bleeding. So, like, we left. I was crying, and then George was like, are you okay? Yo, JB. You know how you talk.
Yeah.
Like, you good? I'm like I gotta
At
go.
that
I gotta
moment,
go.
like, you don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you went through
Because you
it.
don't even know how. What are you going to say?
Well, I told him, like, because I think, yeah, Domenica and, like, the cousins knew I was pregnant, but not everybody.
Okay.
So I told him I was bleeding, but Nancy saw me, and she was like, JB, you okay? I'm like, I gotta go, you know, whatever. She thought it was my mom, about, like, my mom.
Oh, okay.
But, or she might have knew, I don't know. But anyway, so I'm walking away,
My
whatever.
mom probably explained it to her.
Yeah, so then I called the doctor. He was like, well, it could be like a period thing, but like give it till Monday, and if you're still bleeding by then come in and we'll take a look or whatever.
I still would have gone in.
But like no, because like he's like, if you go into the hospital now and it's happening, there's nothing you could do. So it's kind of like a thing that like not a waste of a hospital visit, but there's nothing you could do. So you're gonna just spend so much money for a thing that you already know what's happening, you know? So I waited, and like the next day it stopped. And then it was fine after that. So, but I was
That's
just
why
like freaking
I was
out.
going to ask a dumb question. Everything's okay now? Obviously. She's here. Duh. I was just eating
you
her
see-
feet
you
later. Making
You're
a
just
snuggle.
cheddar kisses.
Chunky monkey that's
Yeah.
downstairs.
The butter roll downstairs.
It's just a mechanical doll, you know? It just moves like a baby.
Or like those rubber dolls that we had in like home ec class.
Oh my God.
It's just one of
Class.
those, you know?
Yeah. I'm just, you know,
No, but
again,
because
we had a
like
rough day yesterday.
As we're all laying down.
When she told me she was pregnant with me, it was the funniest thing. I'm changing Mackenzie, and she throws the pregnancy test. I was like, "Is that old or new?" And she's like, "That's new." I'm like, "You're pregnant?"
I
But it
tried.
was so clear, and I'm like, "Holy crap!" And then she's like, "But I was supposed to ride rides at Disney World today." And I'm like,
Oh my God.
Yeah, because that was the same morning I was flying to Florida
Mhm.
for the to go to Disney for a little while. or for the week or something, and I was so nervous, like I was about to throw up, but I was like never that nervous before to go on the plane.
But I looked at her. I'm like, you look really flushed though.
Mhm.
Like she
I'm
had
like,
rosy
why is
cheeks.
this weird? Like,
And then I was
Yeah,
like,
'cause you're
maybe you're just
pregnant.
anxious.
yeah.
But I said maybe you're just anxious because I get antsy when I have to go fly. So I'm
So
like,
do
maybe
I.
you're just super angry and you're leaving Mackenzie for the first time. Like maybe it's just a mix of like. And then she
Emotion.
comes back 10 minutes later. She
No,
goes, I'm pregnant.
No,
I
but,
was
like,
oh.
so I tried hiding the stick in like Mackenzie's clothes, so because I was like, oh, can you change Mackenzie for me, just so she could see. But she changes her so aggressively, so she like ripped her shirt off, and then like the thing went flying on the floor. I'm like, oh my god, well that was a fail. So like I picked it up and I put it there, on like on the table, and she's like, what is that? I'm like.
And I was like,
Look.
is that now? Or is
She's
that
like, no,
old?
you're not. I'm like, look. And she's
was
like,
like-
you're pregnant?
I was like, dang, that's really clear.
I
It
didn't.
was like such a clear positive sign. I'm like, damn.
I
If
should've-
there were words, it was like, duh.
Plus.
Hello.
Hello.
Obviously, you're pregnant.
And then, like,
So,
after
I-
that, first thing I said, I was like, I was supposed to drink and go to ride.
Aw.
This is supposed to be my weekend off. And I was like, call the doctor. And doctor's like, don't do anything. And she goes, oh man. I
I was like, come
You don't
on.
have rides?
No.
No.
I'm never
No.
getting pregnant. That sounds awful.
I was so early on, so I was like, maybe I can just go on one ride. And they're like, I don't recommend it. Like, because I asked the workers that there, and I'm like, so I'm early. I'm like, is there a way that I can go on this? Should it be okay? They're like, I'm not telling you what to do, but we don't recommend it. But that's up to you if you want to do that. Like,
Yeah,
we
'cause
can't,
they don't want to be
you know.
responsible. God forbid.
And I was
something
like,
happens.
all right, I guess not. So then the only ride I really went on was Avatar. Like, you know, the one that you
Yeah.
pretend you're flying. Like,
But I thought they said, like, if you... I don't know if this is the same, but, like, you know how people who are, like, exercisers, like, they're always in the gym.
yeah.
When they get pregnant, they can still exercise because they've always
It's a
been in the
normal
gym.
But I
thing.
think a
yeah.
roller coaster is different because it's like gravity, and you get the 0G feeling, and like you're flipping upside down and stuff. So it's different.
But
It's more pressure.
But you
I
can
was-
still fly?
that's true because it's
But
still
you're
kind of.
not going.
It's not.
upside
I guess it's
down
not
and-
as strong.
What about turbulence?
Ah.
You see? I'm
That's
a doctor.
true.
Yeah, I cannot.
I don't know,
I don't-
but like
it's-
I heard,
well, you're only allowed to fly up to like what 7-8 months or something like that.
no, at least 7 at least. I think 7's like the.
Well, they just say, I think they just say that because, like, what if you give birth in the air?
That's
and
the
they have to
thing.
do
So
the thing.
wait, okay.
Is there a doctor in the house?
We need a doctor. Preferably
So
an
if you're
OBGYN.
born- If you're born over like the Atlantic Ocean, what nationality are you then?
Ooh, question for the listeners.
Please like and comment and subscribe.
And please comment
or
the
if you're-
answers.
If you're flying over like China or something, are you now considered Chinese? Because you're flying over China territory?
I don't think so, actually.
No, I
No,
think
right?
you're considered United States,
It's-
right?
It's like
whatever
if
you came from?
land and give birth there, then yes.
So if you're flying to Mexico and you give birth in Mexico, so now your kid's Mexican?
It'll be like a dual citizenship.
Well, you know, it's
Huh.
crazy because remember I was pregnant with Ariana and you guys went to Cancun and we didn't go for that reason.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, if God forbid does start something happen, I went. I'm like, I'm running across the border. I can give birth in the United States.
For real.
In
Just go to
Texas.
South Texas,
Yeah, there you go.
aka Mexico.
I'll be running.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Uh,
Wow.
I mean, in Europe, I think it would be okay. 'Cause it's Europe.
It's Europe.
We're Eastern European, so
We're like Greek,
we're Greek.
European.
I can't think of the other one right now.
German?
I'm so tired. German, a little bit of German, a little
I
bit of
thought you
French.
said German.
Oh, Romanian.
I want to know like what our ancestors look like from the beginning, like the first
I thought about that.
generate. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
think there's a way
that
of doing
first
that. You
person.
gotta do the Ancestry.com or something like that.
But I heard
And
that's
they'll
why I
find
didn't do it.
photos.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. They'll find photos.
But I heard that's a way for the government to keep track of you now.
Mhm.
I saw TikTok.
yeah,
the other
like
day.
uses your DNA or something like that.
Conspiracy
I mean,
theory.
I already did it with the 23andMe.
Well, you know what, too? Is, like, now that your DNA's in the system. Well, my DNA has always been in the system now, because my fingerprints. because I did security.
I did fingerprints too
Oh, yeah,
for
me
the
too.
gun and all that.
So now, if they're like, oh, it's a person named Jessica, she's about this tall, this fair, whatever, lives in New Jersey, they'll run all those fingerprints.
Mm-hmm.
So you could possibly get a call one day, like, where were you on the night
Yeah.
of... Because-
Sleeping.
You could be like a
Yeah.
suspect
You could
without
become a
knowing.
a
Yeah.
suspect.
That's insane.
Because now they have your information, but it's not like they're gonna...
Like, what are the odds? you know?
Yeah. I mean, but still.
I thought about doing
scary.
ancestry because I wanted to see how far back they can go.
You might as well. You already did 23.
I know. So my DNA's out.
Yeah,
there.
right?
You're already
I'm already
there.
out there.
I mean, I did my fingerprints for the gun stuff like that. I guess they have that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so.
I did my fingerprints when I did substituting. They wanted my fingerprints. I guess to see if I was in some kind of criminal working with kids.
Yeah, I did mine because I was a security dispatcher,
Mm-hmm.
and then they also wanted it for the post office.
Post office.
Why?
I have no
Wait,
idea.
you steal mail?
Well, no, because it's a federal crime.
For stealing mail?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
You know
is it
that?
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Go to jail, bruh.
Imagine, can you bail me out of jail?
I'm stealing this Barbie doll package.
Yeah, it's a federal crime.
Oh, wow.
Actually, even touching or putting something in the mailbox that has not been stamped, it's the mailbox is federal property.
What?
What?
You can look at it. It'll say it on there.
No.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I'm going there after this.
Yeah, it's federal property.
If I can even walk over there.
And all mailboxes have to be approved. You cannot like make your own mailbox.
Really?
It has to be approved by the postmaster general.
But you can decorate it as whatever you want, right?
Yeah, you could paint it and things like that, but they still have to be approved mailboxes.
No way.
That's insane.
So the movie Up is a lie.
No, because they painted it.
Oh, that's right. That's true. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, they painted it.
Almost got you, Disney.
I got your back. Don't worry.
Oh, wow.
Disney fan for life.
DFL.
Yo, we should go
Oh,
down
that
for a
sounds bad.
weekend.
Yeah.
I was about to say. I was like, hold on.
Wait. Rewind.
Wait, Disney fan.
Erase.
Okay, DFFL. There we go.
Yes.
That's
Sounds
better. DFFL.
Yeah. Straight up.
We should go for a weekend and go to Disney.
Don't be pregnant.
Don't get pregnant.
I'm not trying to, guys. Not yet, at least. Surprise.
We asked. Well, did we tell you that we asked Kenzie the other day? Kenzie, you want brother or sister? She goes, brother. We're like, how many? 2.
No.
Twins.
Oh,
That's what
I
we
am
said.
like, no.
It does run in families.
It
does.
does, but
And our family
it skips
too.
a generation, so.
I mean,
Not always.
Yeah.
Watch the next one, it'd be like quadruplets.
oh my god. Well, you said it.
I'm like, Noonie, you're moving back to Jersey. You're moving in here. Everybody moving.
No. You moved to Florida. I'm not coming back here to Cranky Airport.
Cranky customer
Oh, that's
service.
right. But okay, so there'll be a house there now.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Townhouse is being built, but we'll see.
I'll move all the kids there then.
Yeah, we got room.
Like, peace out. Moving back to Jersey. Okay.
I work from home. I'm always there. I
That's
kind of love
insane.
that. I
Yeah.
love that life, the work from home life.
I tried it and I can't do it.
I love it.
I can't do it.
I think
It's
it's because
driving
you
me
live
crazy.
here.
I think it's because like
Yeah, I think it's just Jersey.
that, but I think it's because like maybe the person that was working before me took her time or just didn't really know what her. So it's something that would be done in 5 hours. I did it like in 2.
But you did like projects.
I did like compute. Like I would do, like I would put stuff in the computer, like invoices or type up stuff or do like Facebook posts or whatever. Like,
that does sound
You know what I
boring.
mean?
Yeah.
So after you do it for 2 hours.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds really
Yeah.
boring.
So then, like, after doing it for 2 hours, then what do you do for the next 6 hours?
Yeah.
Nothing?
See, I work in a call center, so it's different. My phone's always ringing.
Like,
She's seen me working. I'm like, hey, I'm not busy. Hey, thank you for choosing.
we'll be like
Yeah,
in the
it's
middle of
really-
conversation, like, thank you for choosing Terminix.
How can I help you today?
All of a sudden, I'm like talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
Or, with Brett too, we'll be having a conversation, and I'm mid sentence because I hear "doon doon" in my ear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, thank you for And he's like, oh, god damn it. Now I'm going to forget what we were talking about.
Oh, man.
I know this is probably, like, off topic, but your aunt made me cry yesterday. You know, you were crying because of, like, the speech that she was getting from the
Yeah,
camera.
Jade, I can't.
I was
with her.
like...
I was a mess.
Yeah.
But it was so cool that she did that. So my aunt gave a speech to honor my mom and dad. Because my mom and dad, when they first bought this house, they were like, look, you have a big family. I have a big family. Let's build a big pool so we have a place for a big family to gather. Because we love our families and we want everyone together. Mm-hmm. So they did that, and they gave him like a plaque with like a beautiful...
Yeah, I read it. It was so nice.
It was
beautiful poem on there. Just honoring them for the sacrifice that they made to make the pool for the entire family.
Yeah.
But then they also gave a plaque to my middle aunt, my Aunt Nancy. She was the brave one to come to the United States from Ecuador by herself. She didn't know anybody, and they were saying that she had just gotten married. Mm-hmm. It was the weekend of her wedding.
Yeah.
And she left to the United States in order to bring over her 10 other brothers and sisters.
Dude, that's I don't even know what that is. That's
so they were so they were basically saying that like the life we're living right now, you, me, everyone here, that would not have been possible without my Aunt Nancy doing what she did.
That's true.
And if you're crying now, I'm so sorry. But you know, that's a moment that we're so proud of. And
what got me was when your aunt was passing out roses, and then she was talking about the people who aren't there, like passed away. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my god. Yeah, that was
But she made me laugh though when she was like, you know, to your dad's like, I didn't like you.
Oh yeah.
You took my best friend away from me, my sister. But then I learned to love you because, you know, my sister loved you. I was like, oh.
Good.
Your dad's bawling. Yo. I was like,
but of course your dad's like, this is how I cry in my house.
This is how I cry in my house.
You see these tears?
Like,
for anyone listening who doesn't know my father, he's nuts.
Oh, he's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he has a few screws missing. And he knows it. And we joke that he's escaped the mental institution.
I was about to call it yesterday. Okay.
Yeah, we almost did. Yeah. Like, it was on speed dial. But...
Number one.
Yeah. I had to press his call.
But we love him still. And he is the way he is because he loves his family so much that all he wants to do is just joke and play and just love us. And everything that he does is for us.
And make people laugh. And,
everything. Yeah. So.
Try not to get emotional.
I know. Back to the family reunion. It was so much fun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like the games and all that. We had 13 games. Me and your mom set up for like a month and a half. Just setting up like different type of games that we could do and all that.
13, that's it?
Action games. Like just the action games. And then there was table games.
Oh, yeah, because I felt like we were playing games.
Yeah.
All day. Like my feet may fall off today.
Oh yeah. My ankle hurts so bad.
Yeah, they just might fall off.
Yeah. So we had so many games, but we couldn't do all of them because we were all just so tired.
Mm-hmm. And that's the point where we saw people were just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And
but
they were like floating in the pool, like let me relax.
Except my mom.
Oh, your mom was going.
Mom was like,
people were leaving, and she was like, "Do you want to play another game?" They're like, "No, let me leave."
Bro, last night it was like 11 o'clock, and my feet were in the hot tub, and I'm holding Ariana, and she goes, "Guys, let's play one more game." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
But, like, in the beginning, some people were, like, not a lot of people were playing. Mm-hmm. And I felt bad because we did plan it for so long, and your mom was so excited about it and getting nervous and all that. That's why, like, I tried jumping in as much as I could, and then also everybody, like, and I told everybody, I'm like, listen, we need everybody to join in this game, like, come on.
Yeah, that's
like,
why I was like, all right, let me announce some points now, because maybe it'll put fire under people's butts.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, but how is it that the white team was ahead at the time? I was like, because when you have more people on your team joining, you have more of a chance of winning.
Yeah.
So,
I tried to play as many games as possible.
I was like, no,
Yeah, she was in the middle of the pool with her White Claw.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need one more for purple. She goes, "Oof, I'm out." She jetted out
Me-
the pool.
Yeah, me and Nuni looked at each other. We're like,
Goodbye, volunteers tribute.
that was a sponge run. We won the first, like 2.
We won
Yeah.
2.
Yeah,
But we
I
had
thought-
a good technique going.
Yeah,
you
we
guys
did.
Because I was like, okay, wait. The person who has the sponge full will go in the inside. The
Yeah.
person that does not will go on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were never bumping into each other.
Yeah.
That's strategy right there.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that was good ass strategy right there.
But then I don't know how we lost the third one.
They cheated.
They cheated.
The game
they
rigged.
brought the bucket with them.
Yeah, they cheated. No, I was kidding. No, but like, it was really fun. It was very competitive, which I like.
Yeah.
But the really one that got me the most was tug of war.
Oh man.
That beat me up so bad
Who
because
had
like
it had rope burn really bad. I forgot who it was.
What? Like that's what you don't have to do. Like, don't put it around your arm because you already know it's gonna be pulled.
dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's why I don't do that. I just grab it and hold and pull. Like,
You gotta do the Squid Game strategy.
immediately.
Pull!
Yeah, Dominica, we're like in the first round was like, okay, let's let them get tired. Or Keela, I think. Let them get tired first and then pull. Like and then immediately thought a Squid Game.
Squid Game.
Yeah,
I
so-
cannot wait for the next season.
Oh my gosh,
never
I'm
watched
so
the first
pumped
one.
up.
What?
No.
Excuse me?
I told you that. I still haven't watched it yet.
You have to watch it.
Bro, you're
have
watching it
to.
today.
She said you're watching it.
You're gonna miss your flight. We're watching it. We're binge watching.
Okay, guys, so we have to stop this
All right,
podcast
peace
now
out.
because we have to watch Squid Games. You have to
We're running out of time.
I feel like it's so. I don't know.
No, you have to
No.
watch it. It's not that bad. It's not that gruesome, really.
It's not.
It's not.
No.
It's really not.
No, but it's so, like, mind-screwy, but it's
Yeah.
also, like, they do a really good job with character development,
Yeah.
where you actually start to like the characters, and then the end, you're like, wait.
Hold up.
So you're telling me it was all a lie? So you're saying I still have a chance?
No, but like what is it called? It took them. It took them 10 years to actually bring
Do
this
it.
show out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the director had it all together and he had it like finished, but I guess something was going on with like some sort of like copyright. I don't know. Like something was going wrong, and it took him 10 years to actually release
They
it.
won an award for it, and he spoke about it.
It's amazing, dude. The show is so cool. And then if you like that, if you haven't watched Alice in Borderland,
No,
you gotta watch it.
really.
It's very similar to Squid Games.
Uh-huh.
It's a little more messed up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a little more messed up.
Okay.
Especially in the beginning. And they do a good job too with like character development, and you really grow to love the characters, and then they just
Is that
Right.
is that Netflix?
hit you right in the feels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Netflix is now coming out, from what I heard, Squid Games.
Number 2.
No. Like, they're like America's making.
Ah, boo.
Talking about 4th of July supporting America
Yeah.
here, but no.
That's what I heard. But I don't know how true that is. Let me look it up. Really
No.
It's not
I
gonna be
was
the same.
like-
Don't do it,
Wait,
Netflix.
what?
You know how like sometimes when you have the first like movie or whatever and it's amazing and they
Yeah.
come up with the second one and it's shitty.
Ugh.
Like stop
Oh
right there.
my
Stop with the
God.
first one. That's
Yeah.
Like,
it.
for
Just
example.
quit while you're ahead.
Yeah, right?
So it says, actually it is. So Netflix is making a real-life version of Squid Game and opening up to the action to contestants around the world. The streamer announced a 10-episode reality competition based on the South Korean drama.
Is it Mr. Beast? Or something like that?
It doesn't say.
No.
It just says,
Wait.
it says Netflix is doing the Squid Game, quote-unquote, for real, without any of the blood and gore.
I was about to say, people die in the Squid Games,
Yeah, I was gonna
right?
say, right? This is a
Wait,
streaming...
without any blood and gore,
Yeah, so
it's
the-
gonna be boring.
It's
the
so
streaming-
stupid.
That's it.
It's just gonna be Wipeout.
So, yeah, it's pretty much. It says
That's what it's gonna be.
the streaming platform has approved a reality TV series called The Squid Game: The Challenge, which will pit 456 contestants against each other in a series of games inspired by the hit show. But then how do you
It's
win,
literally
though?
gonna be like the challenge. Remember Real World versus
They're still doing it.
Road Rules?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're
It's
still
gonna be
doing it
like
now.
that.
Now it's just called The Challenge.
That's dumb.
I don't watch
I'm not
it.
watching it.
Bro, quit while Netflix, please
Stop.
quit while you're
Just
ahead.
stop.
That's enough.
Please. Watch it end up being like the number one thing in the United States.
Yeah.
Bro.
Asterisk. If it's cool, then
I think
sorry.
it'll only be. I think it'll only be.
And asterisk.
I think it'll only be like on the top 10 because people are gonna want to see what
Squid
it's like.
Games, and they're like, this isn't Squid
Yeah,
Games.
that's how they're gonna get their numbers because they want to see the difference.
You know, every time I say yeah, it reminds me of that last podcast.
Same.
When we just when we talked about that, you pop up in my head immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time we say, we're just like talking about
It
that
just
now.
my
like
mind
automatic
directly
is
goes
like-
to you.
We were actually talking about that the other day when we went to Keensburg.
Oh yeah.
Because Jonathan. Oh, by the way, so his podcast is called So About Tomorrow.
Oh.
If anyone. Oh no, So About Yesterday. I'm sorry. So About
I like
Yesterday.
listening to podcasts because I get ideas.
He's
from
really
them.
cool. It's Jahida's boyfriend, my cousin's boyfriend. And he does his own podcast. So if any listeners want to hear, that's what it's called. It's called So About Yesterday. But we were talking about it, and we were talking about that conversation because he started saying, yeah. And I'm like, you see, it is a Jersey thing.
I proof.
We're here. We made it.
Yeah. Don't mess with the Jerseyans.
Right?
You know, we'd be angry.
Yeah. For real. Nah, man.
Alright, guys, well, that's it for today.
We'll wrap it up.
Wrapping it up. Have a safe flight home.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Until next time you come back or we go visit.
Yeah, you
We'll
have to come and
podcast.
visit.
Yeah, once you guys move into like the new house and settle,
Mm-hmm.
We'll
I
come.
think we're going in I think we're gonna go for New Year's
Oh,
to
okay.
Florida. Because in Christmas time, that's when you guys are gonna. I don't know, something like that. I think
Well,
we're having Christmas here and then going to New Year's there. I can't remember.
We'll see where the house is, because it's a new build. So they
Yeah.
say December, but it could possibly
Yeah.
be January, February.
Oh yeah, it
based
could be
on
longer.
Because anything
materials.
could happen, yeah.
That's true.
Because you know the material shortage now and everything is just ridiculous.
Taking longer.
Yeah, so whatever that happens, but we'll definitely going there.
Yay!
Yay.
Awesome.
Alright, guys, well, I hope you have a good week.
Happy
Enjoy-
4th again.
Be safe.
Happy 4th of July. Thank you for having me and listening to my crazy.
Thank you for joining on. Always a pleasure. You know we love you having on.
Yes.
For being on.
Yeah, thank you. Love you guys too.
Alright, guys.
Peace out.
Have a good week.
Love ya.
Bye.
Bye.